You have experienced a very slight pause. The audio and the video was turned off here at our remote TRM location for this bone throw. Again, it was thrown for the first question: what is the true picture about what has happened and what is still happening with the oil spill in the Gulf? So here we are, and we're going to start with Kay's unfolding what is being told to her by the spirit nations on the cloth in front of us.
Thank you. The spirits are, as always, very precise, very, very clear about what they have to say. And the first part of the question is, what happened? What are those details? How did we get this big mess happening, as continuing mess? And the spirits say that it's a man-made accident, and it's a collective of things. It's not any one person's fault or any one group. It's a collective. They talk about very often how we create a momentum. We create a momentum of things pulling together, different energies, different events, our thoughts, our desires, fears, everything. And it creates what's going to happen next. We build our own future out of this momentum. And we have been building this particular momentum with all of humanity. All of humanity. With the oil company in charge of this event, BP. They have a lot of things to do, parts to play in the actions. The extraterrestrials even had some parts to play in the momentum, in the events. The government, military, had their parts to play and still do. And most importantly, it's the collective human consciousness. This particular event with this well and this explosion and this leaking, spewing of poisons, this disaster, it's like a description of the entire oil industry, the whole history, all put into one little tiny package. And all of our collective activities, thoughts, desires, fears, it's been put all together to create this event. This is the momentum we have shared in to create. The oil company had an enormous amount of carelessness, greed, trying to expedite activities, events, production. And they knew that they were going too fast, that they were too careless, that this particular well had a lot of very special problems. And it was on the table that this kind of event was a possibility. And they just kept pushing and forcing ahead anyway. Now with that, there's equal blame spread around. When I ask the spirits about who's really the most at fault, who has what sort of part to play, everybody has an equal part. Everybody has an equal part. The military, the government, that's more than one government. It's this collective that we have on our planet today had a very big part in pushing, wanting to maintain the status quo for the oil industry on the planet and our dependency on oil industry. When we look at the possibilities for new kinds of technologies, better technology, whether it's with oil industry, like a better well, or other kinds of technologies to create energies and power that are not as destructive. That piece is it's right here. It's this black curved piece. That's our creativity. And it's upside down. It's being hindered. It's curtailed. It's shoved to the side. We're not putting any attention. The government, these industries have not put any attention into creating anything new and different and better. Quite the contrary. And that's where a lot of the carelessness comes in. This little piece over here on the left hand, this one is about poisons. We have poison in the left hand being used like a tool, like something good, like it's something okay. For the whole history of industry on our planet, and the oil industry in particular, there's been so much poison involved. These are substances that are really quite dangerous. The soil is killed by it, plants are killed, microbes are killed, the animals are killed, it gets into the air and the water, and the people are killed. People are very, very, very sick because of all of the things that petroleum brings, all the stuff that's been made with it and put into our environment. We're using it like it's some kind of a good tool to have in our world and creating progress. And it's nothing of the sort. It's poison. And we need to find something very different. We need to head in a very different direction. Here, all of these different pieces, the snake and the frog, the creator piece, the healing piece, the jaguar, the vulture, the earth upside down. These are all speaking to this momentum that we have created. And one of the most surprising things in the responsibility of who done it are the spirits. The spirits allowed this to happen. The spirits allowed this to happen in order to wake us up. This is a real big wake-up call. This is the momentum we created, and this is what the spirits have allowed to be. They've allowed this to come about, to wake us up. And that pretty much says everything that the spirits have to say about that particular question.